English language GCSE is a really important exam because if you don't pass it this year, you will need to resit the paper. A lot of you found my paper 1 run through really helpful. I did a grade 4/5 one and a grade 7/8/9 one. Or I would do the same for paper 2. This video is going to be actually both types. I'm going to be giving different advice for grade 4 and for grade 6/7, so this video is for both groups, but I will be making it very clear what my advice is for the different two groups. Okay, so in case you don't know, paper 2 is the non-fiction version of paper 1. You will still be getting 2 texts as inserts and 5 questions. Question 5 being your big creative writing question, but this time it is not a story or a description, it is a speech, an article, etc. So my advice is similar for the first paper, and that is that you should read the questions first. So you should open that booklet, read the little intro paragraphs about describing what the texts are, then read your questions. Now, what you should be reading for as you read through these questions is the general themes of the texts. As you read through the questions, you'll notice they say, analyse the dinosaur in this text, or analyse the theme of isolation, and you'll get an idea, okay, this is what the text might be about, and you'll know what you'll be writing about, and that means that if you're really bad at interpreting meaning from a text, which I have to say I actually am not very good at, that's okay because you have those 3 words, you know what's going on, you can get a basic understanding before you even read the text. Then we're going to go straight into question 1. Look at the question 1, look at the lines, read the lines, do these carefully because this is like in French and Spanish reading and writing, they're trying to trip you up, they're setting a lot of red herrings, be careful because I remember often losing silly marks here. Do this well, you're picking the true statements, 4 true statements. Now question 2 is where a lot of people go wrong, and that's because it is a comparison of the 2 extracts. But it is only 8 marks, and you'll notice you also have a comparison for question 4, which is in theory a more in-depth version of this exact question. But the key thing is, with question 2, you are not doing any analysis. So usually I say do a what, how, why paragraph. This is not a what, how, why paragraph because there's no how. So I'm going to show you the structure that I use for this question, which makes it really, really simple, that got me a great line. Here it is. Source A states this, here's a quotation, here's my brief influence. In contrast, source B states this, here's my quotation, here's my brief influence. And you should do that twice and make sure you get a good level of detail in this brief inference. This is like, okay, this quote shows it, this quote shows my point, how? Just explain it a little bit, don't go into too much depth, do not analyse your quotation. Just talk about the themes, talk about the inference, do make it a bit significant, do add some depth, but don't analyse language. Now question 3 should be really, really, really simple, and that's because it is very similar to paper 1 in the way that it is asking you to analyse the use of language for a specific thing. Now how do we analyse language? I hope you guys all know my favourite structure for using to analyse language is what,